Hey Rose, it's Friday and I want to talk about heroes. It's often when we're young that we find our heroes, and when I was a young boy, while most of my friends were finding their heroes in sports stars or actors and actresses or their favorite fictional characters, I was aligning myself with someone a little different. A guy who was just driven by his curiosity and love for science. In fact, you might even go so far as to call him a science guy. I was kind of a different kid. Things that absolutely fascinated me seemed to go by completely unnoticed by my friends and family. Like, how come sometimes clouds are thick and fluffy and other times thin and wispy? Or how come when I put a cup of Kool-Aid in the freezer, it turns into a popsicle? I wanted to know, I needed to know these things, but it seemed like others were just not interested in these kind of thoughts. Even at a young age, I felt like I was taught, don't ask so many questions that you annoy the adults. So I often just kept quiet. That is, until one day in second grade when our teacher wanted to show us a video that she had recorded at home on a VHS tape. Not to date myself or anything. I don't actually remember which episode it was, but I do remember that even during the intro I was like, man, this must be what super smart college professors used to teach. I mean, come on, inertia is a property of matter. I'm only 8 years old, I don't know what half of those words mean. Admittedly though, the rest of the intro was pretty easy to get through. Bill! Another thing I remember about the episode was the importance that this guy put on curiosity and learning about our world, which is a value that I still base almost every decision of my life on. If you haven't picked up on it by now, I'm talking about the one and only Bill Nye, the science guy, who is and has been since second grade my personal hero. Before second grade, it was Thomas the Tank Engine, in case you're wondering. In the following years, I learned more about science and our world from this man than any other single human being in my life. I learned about how the phases of the moon change by watching Bill circle a light while holding a basketball. I learned about air pressure by watching Bill hang from a transparent box that had all the air sucked out of it, and then was amazed to learn that he wasn't being held up by the box, he was being held up by all the air in the room around him, pushing him up into the box. What? And then, I learned countless other things too. This was the first person in my life who showed me that the world actually is just as fascinating as I thought it was. The first person to make learning so much fun. While the other kids got bored or spaced out during the goofy songs, I was always on the edge of my seat, just soaking it in. Just sitting in class like, yes, Bill, yeah. Anyway, I could go on for days about how much Bill Nye has positively affected my life, and might actually do that in future episodes, but the reason I told you all this is so you would understand my excitement when this book came out just a couple weeks ago. In fact, I bought it the day it came out. I was a little concerned actually, you see, because the book focuses on life and evolution, and as someone who got a degree in anthropology, I was a little worried that the book would be full of the same basic, overused case studies that had been presented to me in my Intro to Genetics and Physical Anthropology courses, but I could not have been more wrong. Bill uses cases that I've never even heard of and makes points that I've never considered, which is impressive considering my field of study. He very efficiently explains and attempts to make understandable the mind-numbing complexity of our universe, and he does it all with his famous wit and humor. In fact, even though this book is packed with knowledge, to me it reads more like a comedy book than a science text. Like, I literally lolled many times while reading it. Bill Nye uses examples from his own fascinating life and even more ideas from his fascinating mind to show how incredible the world around us is. As incredible as I thought it was when I was just a science boy in second grade, and as incredible as I find it now, a science guy myself. Wow. A little more emotional than I thought I'd be about that. Thanks, Bill. And Rose, we will see you on Monday.